My great-grandfather, Dr. Louis Faust, was known as the baby doctor in his town north of New York City. During his lifetime, he made 5,000 home deliveries, and he had 3 waiting the night he died at age 73. 50 years later, practicing family medicine in rural Oklahoma, one of my greatest joys was helping women and their families bring new life into the world. Today, that event has less joy for some. Ianca Barbosa in Campo Grande, Brazil, 18-year-old Ianca Barbosa was 7 months pregnant when the ultrasound showed that her baby had microcephaly, the calling card of Zika. As soon as he heard the news, Ianca's husband fled. Just when I needed help the most, she said, I was alone. Ianca's baby, Sophia, may never walk or talk. She may get seizures. She probably won't be able to get the specialized care she needs in the poor community that Ianca lives in. By the end of the year, there may be 3,000 baby Sophias in Brazil alone, mostly in the poorest parts. Over the last several years, we've seen a series of Zikas, little-known diseases that all of a sudden exploded on us with devastating impact on families and on whole countries. Before Zika, Ebola, SARS, AIDS. We all know that. But what we don't realize is that these epidemics destroy the gains that have been made for women, for newborns, for infants, for adolescents, in reproductive health, all of the services. Gains that have been won because of women's rights and women's empowerment. In West Africa, the Ebola epidemic decimated and erased 15 to 20 years of progress by women for themselves and their children. It decimated an already scarce health workforce, killing doctors, nurses, midwives by the hundreds. The loss of those health workers alone may cost an extra 4,000 maternal lives a year. And when epidemics hit, women suffer. But also in times of uncertainty and risk and fear, women lead. They lead by becoming part of the solution. Garmi Suma, on the left there, joined Body Team 12, collecting and ensuring safe, dignified burial of over 500 bodies, each time knowing that a single mistake could leave her fatally infected. Despite the risk and despite the stigma, Garmi was determined. Till Ebola leaves my country, I will never stop, she said. In Parker Corner, 70-something-year-old Mama Tuma and her granddaughters made sure that everyone in the village knew how to protect themselves and the village from Ebola. And they kept Parker Corner Ebola-free. These and scores, unknown numbers of women fought hard under incredibly horrific conditions to bring the Ebola epidemic to an end. But what if they had been able to identify early the epidemic and stop it before it started, before it brought agony across West Africa, and before it ambushed the gains for women and girls that many in this room have helped to achieve? How many more lives would have been saved? How many more families would have been kept whole? What's missing? What's missing are strong, resilient public health systems. We need to invest in health workers, including health workers, community health workers like Lema, who's celebrating the victory of her country over Ebola. We must invest in ensuring that these health workers provide quality, respectful maternal and child care, family planning, emergency contraception, and other essential services. And we must invest in making sure that they can detect new diseases and unusual health events. It's not primary care or outbreak control, it's both. The headlines scream at us. It's not whether, but when the next big epidemic will hit, as if we could do nothing to protect ourselves. I don't accept that defeatist mindset. And as advocates for women and girls, none of us should. As we sit here, women like Iyanka are holding babies like Sophia, wondering what their future will bring. Their anguish could have been prevented. It wasn't. The truth is that we know how to keep outbreaks, disease outbreaks, from exploding into murderous epidemics. So why don't we? Here are 3 things you can do now. First, when you go home, ask in your community or your country, are we prepared for the next disease outbreak? Only 1 out of 3 countries worldwide have health systems that are up to that task today. Second, make ending epidemics part of your personal conversations and part of your political agendas. And third, join the No More Epidemics campaign and invite others to join. No More Epidemics supports a pathway at the global level and for countries to end epidemics through strong, resilient health systems. Garmai from Body Team 12 and Mamatuma from Parker Corner and Lema, the health worker, all led and showed how strong leadership can succeed against epidemics. We can and we must end epidemics forever. Thank you.